also important machines such as kidney machines and ultrasound and X-ray. These are mainly the current activities in a brief. For children also we are doing a child psychosocial program in an emergency basis for those children, traumatized children right now.
Okay, Brother Wasim, if I can ask you, what's the best way of people helping you at this time, and what's your details? How do they contact you? I know you have a website. Can you give us some information, please?
The best way, people can donate to www.islamicrelief.com. I'm sorry, I'm talking in the car right now from my mobile. Because
no, mashallah, this is the way the work is. It's always working hard. We really appreciate your help. I think it's islamic-relief.com/UK for the information. I think it should come up on your screen. Or islamic-relief.com, and you'll find all the information. Brother Wasim, are you still with us there?
Yes.
If I could ask you, what about the other organizations? Are you working with other organizations also in Palestine directly, or other global organizations?
Yes, we work in partnerships with different international aid agencies, including some of them are UN agencies, others like, for example, SIDA, the Swedish Development Agency, and also Forum SID, that's also a network organization of the Swedish organizations. Plus also many other institutional donors. We worked with the European Union in a massive educational program that lasted for 3 years.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Wasim. Sorry for cutting you. We're very short on time. Thank you very much for your call, and we'll be in contact with you again to find out the latest what Islamic Relief is doing. Sheikh Nabil, you were speaking to us about this myth, and it is a myth. I mean, it's coming awake now. I mean, we're trying to educate the people here that the state of Israel originally, they only had 100 years. They only were around
50 years.
50 years. Look at that.
Altogether, and 50 years before were guests.
So
during the days of Abraham,
this is
Isaac and Jacob.
This is something which is strange to many Muslims, but some people may even ask you, but come on, I mean, these killings are happening in Israel. This is the reason why we see in Israel retaliate, and they have a right to this land. But you're just explaining to us here that they were there for a very short time.
Matter of fact, right now, I want the whole world to know that there are 3 million Palestinians are really in exodus.
Subhanallah.
If you use the term from the Bible, exodus.
This is a diaspora again?
Diaspora really all around the world. They have reached Argentina and Brasilia, and they cannot go back to their homeland. Many of them, we know, so many documentaries, are still carrying the keys of their homes. Now we ask a guy, like the Prime Minister of Israel, Olmert, where is the grave of his father? Compared to Yasser Arafat or Abbas or Ismail Haniyeh, where is the grave of his grandparents? Many of them are from Poland, Spain, different parts of the world. Well, our grandparents and grandparents are in Palestine. And history proves that. Matter of fact, if you read in the Bible, you will find that Abraham, may peace be upon him, when he is about to die, he asked one Palestinian person, could I rent from you my grave? He rented a grave for Sarah, may peace be upon her, his wife. Then he rented a grave for himself. But this Palestinian was nice enough to keep them in those graves. He didn't cultivate the land after them. In the same place, Isaac and his wife were buried. In the same place, Jacob and his wife Rahel were buried. Now this town is called Hebron. One of the towns that the Israelis are fighting and insisting of not allowing the Palestinians to live around those graves. Historically, these are rented land owned by Palestinians. I'm using only now, the proof is the Bible. If the Bible is a judge between us and them, if they, for themselves, they prove of the credibility of the Bible. That's an example.
Okay, if I can hold you for a second. I've just been told now that you have the information on screen for Islamic Relief. You should have their telephone numbers, also their contact details in terms of their email address, and even some bank details. So if you could